Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, internet goers, to the last episode of the year. This is, I suppose you can consider it a season finale, if you will, of Pissed Off. But I'm not really pissed off right now, because this is a joyous holiday occasion. It's the time we get to look back on the whole year and kind of cleanse ourselves of whatever good and bad and ugly that has gone on for the last 365 days. And then move on to the next year. I'd like to try something different. This is a little bit on the fly, but I wanted to make the first ever Drop the Ball Award. Basically, this is when I acknowledge a either video game company, entity, or whatever as the one who seriously dropped the ball for that year. This is going to be the first ever, and I'm going to try to do it again. But I'll need your support, so this list is very short. Now, first off, someone who's dropped the ball, South Park. They have a game that's supposed to have come out. Hell, it was supposed to come out in March, and then it got delayed to the last day of the year, and they pushed it up to like somewhere in the holiday season, and then they pushed it back again to next year. The game's done, and for some reason or whatever, they're not releasing it. I don't think it's bugs. I actually think it brings on to our next entry. The nominee, if you will, one of them, for Drop the Ball of the Year. THQ is dead. No more. Cease to be. And why? Because their poor management skills and their lack of making anything really good. Well, I take that back. They have made decent games, but for some reason or whatever, they just couldn't stay afloat, and they had to sell all their assets and go belly up, and now they're dead. So this is the last year you'll probably hear someone talk about THQ, unless if they're looking back at the good old days when they had some good games. Next nominee, Capcom, being almost broke. You know, I bitched about Capcom this year, about, how if, you stop making quality games and stop doing what the fans want you to do, they're going to turn on you, and you're going to suffer the consequences, and look what happened. You're almost dead. You're almost broke. You have maybe $100 million or so left in the bank. And why? Because you're shelving out the same crap that you're shelving out every year for the past few years. You're completely ignoring Mega Man. You're completely ignoring a lot of your lesser known franchises to give us 2 games that you've been giving us for the past 5 years. And you're wondering why you're going bankrupt. You're wondering why the only thing you really could have announced this year was DuckTales Remastered, which wasn't a bad game, by the way, but yet again, you had someone else make the game for you. So, you're not very far off from THQ, and it's a damn shame because of how much lineage and history you give to the video game industry. We've known you since the 80s. You're right up there with Nintendo, Capcom, Konami, Atari, and you're going to die because you're not giving the fans what they want. That deserves a nomination, let me tell you. Speaking of nominations, next up on the list, Microsoft. Why do I need to even mention Microsoft? I should just end it with hashtag deal with it, but it goes farther than that. Adam Orth was actually right. You were going to make it so everyone pretty much had to buy new games. The used game market was going to die by your hands. Or was it? Because you backpedaled that and changed your mind, so now people can buy used games again. So all that work you did amounted to nothing. That's really funny. Also, Microsoft again and Sony for not having their new next-gen systems backwards compatible. One of the selling points of a lot of the previous generation systems was that we could play the last gen systems on them. The fact that they do not do that now means you basically buy a system for 1 or 2 games because that's all you're going to really afford. Because that still brings about $500, $600, $700, especially if you're going to buy a controller and a membership to whatever internet service you choose for whatever game to play online. And so basically that means that you're basically playing 1 game or maybe 2 games if you have that much money for your next-gen system, and in the end it really doesn't amount to that much. I've looked at them. They don't look that much better. I'm just going to wait and see, but you lost on that. Nintendo was the one who even got it right. The only one, mind you, for the next-gen home consoles. The Wii U plays Wii games. Yeah, it doesn't play GameCube games, but at least it plays the previous generation. Not to mention, even uses the old controllers with the Wii Motion Plus. So with that, I mean, you're still being able to use the stuff that you bought before, and it gives you more value for your money. And not to mention, it has the best library of games at this point. Yeah, I know, because it came out a year earlier, but they always have the advantage with that. And everyone always is complaining about how graphics are hindering the Wii U, or how performance hinders the Wii U. It shouldn't even be about graphics or performance. It should be about having a game system and being able to utilize it. But that's my take on that. Another honorable mention is the Xbox One. Again, well, 3 nominations for Microsoft. The Xbox One lets people, from what I heard, chat with Skype. And they're actually banning people because they're using curse words. Come on, we're people, okay? We cuss. Not always, but we do. Especially when you play video games and you get pissed off. So you should really see this coming. It's not, what are you gonna do? You gonna ban people on, on Windows because they're swearing on Skype? I mean, you should know your generalized target audience is, 12-year-old kids who like to cuss when they play Call of Duty. So this shouldn't be much of a surprise to you, but for some reason it is. So, well, that's my list. I don't have much because I had to look it up myself. But if I were to say one person outshined them all, you'd think it'd be Microsoft, but no, Microsoft fails yet again for that. They don't get my award. The company that does, however, probably the only award they'll be getting this year, ever, would be THQ. THQ gets the 2013 first ever Drop the Ball Award. And why? Well, because their dumbass actions were so great that they no longer have a company. And in the end, that's really what it's all about. Being able to make games for people, and if you can't even do that, well, you seriously dropped the ball on that. Trust me, it was close with THQ and Capcom, but in the end, Capcom is still there for now. Hopefully we can say the same next year. But that's the winner, THQ, the first ever winner of the Snipe Drop the Ball 2013. If I try to continue this, I will need your support. So, on the bottom below, hopefully, my magic works. There it is. Okay. Here it is. If you want to give me suggestions on anything, or help me out with people you think is a nominee for the 2014 Drop the Ball Award, then email me at snipedroptheball@aim.com. Why AIM? Well, because it seems like all email addresses these days require you to validate with a cell phone, and my cell phone's on the minutes. So AIM it was. So, without that, hope you enjoyed my little rambling and my little fake award show. I dressed up nice for you. White, blue. If I had a white tie, I'd wear a white hat and wear different glasses and pretend I'm Michael Jackson, but maybe we'll save that for another day. So, I hope you enjoyed this year. Hope you enjoyed the first season of Pissed Off and me being a lot more active on the YouTube community. I should be more active now since I finally graduated and got my degree in video production. So, with that said, Happy New Year's! Till next time, folks.